Hey everybody, I want to go ahead and show you how to make that kale salad again. I posted it a few weeks ago on my personal page, but I want to make a fresh copy of it to show on my new page. And I hope everybody enjoys it. If you haven't had a chance to try it, please do. And if you're new to my videos, then I really hope you'll enjoy it because I've made a lot of believers who were once skeptics with this very salad. It's my go-to, it's my favorite. It plays a supporting role in many of the dishes and the meals that I will serve. My kids love it, and we really can't get enough of it. This is my third time in a row to make it, by the way. I made it on Saturday for a potluck. I made it last night when some friends came over, and I'm making it again today, so I have it for the next couple of days. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to show you, this is just a bowl of one bunch of kale that I washed. I dry it a little bit with some paper towels, and then I cut it into just these thin ribbons. But I wanted to show you what a leaf of kale looks like if you're not familiar, if you've been very anti-kale in the past. You see it in the grocery store and just walk on by. But it comes in this big, huge, leafy bunch. And it's got this really thick stalk down the middle of it, this vein in the leaf, and it's usually just a little bit too thick to enjoy in a salad. You can use that definitely if you want to make some veggie stock, or if you want to maybe let it cook in a stew or something, then it's fine, but not in a salad. It's just a little bit too much. So I'll just tear these up a little bit. Kale on its own is not, in my opinion, a very pleasing vegetable to eat. It's pretty tough. And it can be kind of bitter. So it's not super enjoyable on its own. You have to kind of give it some help. But this salad is so easy. The dressing is just a few ingredients, super easy to put together. And friends that I've shared this with have said they make it all the time, once a week at least. And kale is not expensive at all. Get it at the grocery store. I usually get 2 or 3 bunches at a time, and we're set. And like I said, it will go well, pair well with most everything that you're gonna serve. So I've got my kale ready to go, and I'm gonna show you how to make the dressing real quick, but I'm not gonna dress it right away. This is some juice of grapefruit. I usually use half of a large grapefruit and then a whole lime. If the grapefruit is smaller, you can go ahead and use a whole one, but that's my favorite citrus combination. You can use any citrus, and I've used oranges, I've used lemons, limes, just lemons, just limes. It's great with any citrus. This just happens to be my favorite combination, but please experiment and try it. And if you happen to one day not have grapefruit or whatever, then just be okay with that. It's fine with any citrus. It's about, that looks like a little more than half a cup, but usually doesn't render that much juice. It doesn't really matter the measurement. What you're gonna wanna go for is a 2-to-1 ratio of juice to olive oil. So you're gonna have more juice than you have olive oil, a 2-to-1 ratio. So just kind of eyeball it. I'll probably use a little bit less this time. Just kind of watch your oil go in there. And this is probably gonna make way more dressing than I actually need, and that's okay. I can save it for another time when I make it. And then I usually use 2 crushed garlic cloves. I'll use a garlic press and just press it through, and I'll use the fresh. I know you can buy that minced garlic in the jar in the grocery store, and that is a shortcut for a lot of recipes, but I would not recommend it for this. You want to have that punch of the garlic for this, and it's gonna mellow out nicely once it's in that citrus for a little bit. And then this is just sea salt and black pepper. You're gonna season that to taste. You might want to be a little bit conservative on the salt because you can always season it up a little bit later if you need to. So I'm gonna shake that up in just a little bit. I'm gonna set it aside. By the way, I juice mine with one of these old-fashioned juicers, and then I strain it. I have one of these little strainers into my jar, and it works great. But just juice it however you can. Get that juice into your container, either a jar or a salad dressing shaker. So this step is an important one. I forgot to do it the other night when I went to my potluck. And I actually had to apologize to my friends because here's what happens. You drizzle just a little tiny bit of oil on there. You're not dressing it. What you're gonna do, and that's a little pinch of sea salt. You're gonna spend a minute or so massaging your kale. So when I went to the potluck, I realized, oh, I did not massage the kale, and it looks different when you don't do that. It tastes different. It has a different texture. if you skip this step, your experience with this salad just will not be the same. So I apologize to my friends. I'm like, sorry guys, I didn't massage the kale, which, you know, caused them to look at me like I was a little bit nuts. And then of course induced all kinds of joking about massaging kale, and it went in a weird direction. But anyway, if I don't massage the kale, it will not yield the same result. So do massage the kale. And then what I'm doing here is breaking down the surface of the leaf just a little bit. That salt serves as a bit of an abrasive, and then the oil gets in there and kind of smooths it out. And then when that dressing goes on, it's going to soak into the leaves really nicely, and you're not going to have that tough bitterness that you sometimes have with the kale. But even when doing this, even though I am kind of softening the leaves a little bit, the salad still holds up really well for a couple of days in the fridge. And so it's nice, and you will like it, I promise. So massage my kale a little bit. I'm gonna shake the dressing up, and as I said before, I think I made a little bit more than I actually need. That looks like a lot of dressing, so I'll probably save some of that for another salad. It'll keep in the fridge really well. And I forgot my tongs, so we'll just toss that with my hands too. I need to wash them anyway, so get that all mixed up a little bit. And then if you do happen to have leftovers of this kale and you keep it in the fridge for a couple of days, you'll want to go ahead and toss it up, probably with tongs, not with hands. Toss it up a little bit before you eat it again, just so that dressing can get good and mixed up. So please do try it. Lots of people have been sending me messages, you'll post on my page about your experience with the kale salad. You'll show me your kids helping you make it and eat it and love it. You've told me different things that you've added to it. You've told me different citrus combinations that you've used, and I love all of that. So please do try it and let me know how you like it. Thanks.